It's of course time for the big day nail in Duel Links, our first maximum summon character for 7th World, and he's looking to be pretty good so far. Now, what have we got going on in Duel Links? We've got the brand new campaign, maximum summoning, giving us of course the hard places L, middle and R. These have been on the ladder a ton. They're very fun to play, they're quite hard to out, and so given we've got a brand new box coming in a few hours time, you're going to see the Rush Duel metagame switch up quite a bit, which is really fun. Now, we've got sleeves coming as well. We've got, of course, a Rush Dream Pack. It can be any of these prismatic cards, which is really cool. I probably want I guess a second prismatic Dragius, or probably the 7th Revenant actually would be really cool. But also this SR Dream Ticket for Speed on day 7. It does say up here, it can be a card from any of the boxes. Usually for Speed tickets, it's the last like 3 or 4 boxes are excluded, and so does this mean going forward the dreams might be really buffed and we can get any card in the game? That'd be so huge to find out, of course, in a few days' time. Then we've got Nail's actual card unlocks. So Secret State Soul is a level 7 boss monster, I guess, that can deal damage, which is like fine. It deals 600 maximum per turn, so it's like a small amount of burn damage that I guess is better than what Hard Places does, which is, I guess is a good thing. But also we've got Atron, which is another part of the whole Femtron draw package. Talk about that in a minute because that's going to be very important for Nail's cards going forward. It's kind of like a Mystic Dealer in terms of card value, right? You're summoning this, you're drawing 1, since the graveyard, so it all kind of works out to just get to your maximum a bit quicker. But of course, the big thing is brand new cards and his skills, and of course, the voice lines. He is voiced by Kirito in his Japanese voice, which is really cool if you didn't know that. That is, it's now going to be my go-to character for Rush Duel, so let's go through his new cards. First of all is the Femtron, his vanilla, level 4. This is required for some skills for his cards for draw engine, so you'll play 3 of this. Then we've got at level 7, his Particle Acceleration, which of course is the default back removal spell for Cyburst. This is plenty fine, of course, every character seems to be getting this now, so that is pretty cool. We've then got at level 10, the Belsectable Manny. So this is the alternative version to your card in the gate drops, and this reduces monster attack points by 300 minimum. It recurs cards back from the graveyard, so of course bringing back Maximum Piece or your Atron, your other Peacoctrons for one of the skills, just to get more draw power to go to a maximum in the future turn, could be really big. So by itself, it does clear a Dragius, I guess, if there's no back row, so this could be pretty good. We of course have some skill tickets, right, and I think that's all new cards, right? Yes, just 3 copies of each, some skill chips, which I don't think is all that great, but of course, in terms of raw cards, right, these are pretty decent for the deck. Then we've got his skills. First of all is Rush Onyx Drago, which is your default add the card to the deck skill. This will let people that haven't got the card play with it, and this is just fine, right? Drago seems to be a very fun boss. Your middle piece can't be affected by trap cards, your left piece can pop a card on the field, your right piece can change your battle position. This one is the best one, right? Because if you think about it, this card can only attack once, and so if your opponent is setting 3 cards face down, then this one, change of battle position, is going to be the most impactful one. We've also got Blue Medicine Deal, which I guess is pretty cool. Hammer Crush Deal as well is going to be pretty big for aggro decks. We've got Light Race Draw, which no one's actually played. One side reverse draw, again, similarly, no one's played. Rocket Draw, no one's played. Silly Ancients, no one's played. But we've got Set Quantum Hole, which sets a Quantum Hole from your deck of graveyard to your field. Now, this could be okay down the line, I think. It's a Cyburst-based battle trap. We're getting it via the box as well. And so it is just like fixing your hand to potentially draw more cards next turn if you want to see a maximum, which like is all you want to do in this deck, right? It is just draw power into maximums. So this could be fine again down the line, but we've got better skills right now, so you wouldn't really play it. Then we've got Femtron Draw. Now, this one again could be big because it is guaranteeing you that you've got a Femtron in your hand. So you have then got to put Femtron in the graveyard, which is kind of the big thing after this. So you've either got to summon it and then sack it off, or discard it somehow, but then you're locked to attacking with 7 higher side bursts, and so I think if the restriction wasn't there for that one, then this would be a lot better. We of course then have the Beyond Curiosity, which is going to be his main skill, I think, given that it adds 3 of each of these cards to your deck. Now, we can't get them right now, so these might be his rerun cards down the line, but these are just 2 more draw power cards, right? This one, it draws 2, then you put 2 cards in your hand at the bottom of the deck, which I think is fine, just again, fixing your hand, but you've got a Femtron and Atron, which is of course the card available by level ups and the event to use. So this card might be kind of dead in your hand, or just a dead tribute card in general for a while. Then we've got Peacoctron, which you've got to have Femtron in your graveyard and other cost fields. You can summon your Femtron, then sack it off for this, sack this off, draw 2, then mill 2. So if you're then playing, say, Reincarnation to recur a maximum piece, then this will work out again quite nicely. But just getting these cards in your graveyard out of the way is going to be massive. Now, the downside is that during the duel, during your opponent's end phase, one maximum on your field loses 600 attack points, and it does this every turn it's available. So if your Drago survives one turn, it goes down to 34, down again, down to 28. And so the longer your opponent doesn't deal with it, the weaker it gets, make it easy to deal with. But that is kind of working to your benefit as well, because they're waiting, you're gaining more cards, gaining more back row. So I think the restriction isn't actually that bad. I think it's actually quite fine, because on your turn, it's going to be 4k. That's a big body to deal with, right? You're getting all the value off on that turn. And then the next turn, 34 is still a big body. And on your opponent's first turn, it's still 4,000, right? So it's 4k for 2 turns. This is really, really cool. And finally, I believe, is Maximum Ragnarok. Now, this one I think is the better generically of the skills, but it still just kind of locks you into playing Drago. So you've got about 8 pieces of Maxims in your deck, and then you can only run Cybursts with 100 less defense. And so I think that does include everything, right? Like this one here is 0 defense or 100 defense. This one is 100 or 0. So it does include everything, which is fine. Return a card from your hand to the top of your deck of your choice, which is really big because, again, guaranteeing it for next turn or later in the duel. Then you debuff 2 cards on the field by 100, which is so big right by itself. If you just have a hand of low 4s, then you could of course make them weaker. That is great, but also they become 2 tributes for a tribute summon. You can debuff one of your opponent's monsters, debuff one of yours, sack yourself, summon your soul or your Mani, deal life point damage, deal some attack point debuff even further. I quite like this skill as well. It does also kind of work to make summoning the Headache Drago a bit better. Like if you do Giga Brick, then this can help out making it better to summon. So I kind of like that as well. So overall, I think Nail's a very strong character, but is it going to be as good as Roa's brand new skill from the box? I don't know, because that Rebel skill seems very pushed, but also Yuga's new skill that's coming for the Magnum Overlord, despite seeming like the weakest skill there, could be the best one, given it can just cheese out any high level in your hand. And so it could just be a big aggro-focused metagame. We'll have to find out. But of course, leave your thoughts down below on Maximum Summoning, Nail, Yggdrago, the whole shebang in the comments down below. Rush has been really fun in the last like 24 hours since these did drop. Of course, it's a mixed bag right for Rush. You know, you can have some really good win streaks and then have some really hard losses, but overall, it's been fun. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow for a box opening potentially. I'm not too sure yet if I'll do that or not. It comes at 1 AM my time, so I might just like skip it and try and make some content on the box, but who knows. I'll see you all then. Adios.